Shoemakers have been around for centuries. Only until around the early 1600s did the first shoemakers start in America. The shoemaker, also known as the cordwainer, had the job of hand-making shoes to fit their customers. A cobbler, on the other hand, had the job of repairing old worn shoes and never actually produced shoes. To begin making a shoe, the shoemaker would need to select a wooden shoe mold called a last. That was the approximate size of the wearer's foot. If no lasts were available, the shoemaker would need to carve a custom last to fit the wearer. A sheet of leather would then be selected to cut out the various parts for the shoe. The quarters, the backside of the shoe, and vamp, front of the shoe, were cut out and sewed together. To learn more about colonial shoemakers from the area, we went to our local historical society.
I'm Chuck Venezia, the president of the Historical Society, and it's been great having Kevin here to work on this bench. He asked if there was something that he could do for public access, and so I thought of this cobbler's bench from the Peabody, not a cobbler's bench, a shoemaker's bench that we got from the Peabody family, and I thought it would be Kevin's kind of thing. And turned out it has. He's been doing a lot of research. A great benefit of this, we're going to learn a lot about how such a bench was used, how it was set up. Included was many family-related items, including some genealogical information, and then we have the logbook that was used to keep track of the payments of for the clients, either having footwear repaired or having it made, and so it's very interesting, and it shows all the sort of the debits and then the payment, and it seemed that people would go for years without paying anything, and then finally they'd make the payment, and everything would come out even on the bottom line.
We began researching and identifying the tools found with the bench. Once their uses were known, they were cleaned up and set out for display. Some of the tools used included a buffing tool for shining the shoes, a leather punch for making holes in the leather, a pair of hand-forged scissors for cutting leather, pricking wheel for setting holes, one of St. Hugh's bones, a tool made out of an actual bone, a leather working knife, various awls for punching different size holes, and a set of cast iron shoe lasts. John Peabody of Boxford, who was a soldier in the Revolutionary War at age 13, was the father of Joseph Peabody, who would later become a local shoemaker here in town. John bought 2 tracts of land on Northfield Road, where the shoemaking shop would eventually be housed. This workshop was originally used for cabinet making. Joseph made all sorts of footwear from slippers to boots. He worked for his father John, and both also worked as farmers. The shop consisted of 2 rooms with a small attic and a dark cellar beneath. There were 3 shoemaker benches and 1 desk arranged by the window to allow good lighting. While cleaning out the shoemaker bench, love letters written by Joseph Peabody in 1851 to his wife were found.
One thing I'm ready to admit, great love for you I entertain. Either return it or life is ruined. Valentine's Day, birds choose their mates, and I will choose you if not too late. But if too late, I am undone, for now my trouble is just begun. If love so constant as is mine should be refused, dear Valentine, what could I say, what could I do? Indeed my life depends on you. I am lost if you decline to take me as your Valentine. Lovely and fair is the girl that you love, and good as she's pretty, she ever will prove. The love you already I know very well, and something beside that I'm going to tell.
To learn more about modern shoemaking and shoe repair, we went over to Kiosa Brothers in Fitchburg.
My name is Stephen Kiosian. We've been in the shoe repair business 98 years. I took over my father's business in 1969, and we do all kinds of shoe repair in here. I learned from my father. I started shining shoes when I was 10 years old. And then I took over the business in 1969, like I said. He retired at 80-something, and I've been in the business ever since. There was 28 shops in Fitchburg. Just where we were on Day Street, there was 5 shops on our street. Now there's nobody. We're the only shoe repair shop around the whole area. There's not many around. We draw from Lunenburg, Townsend, Pepperell, Groton, Harvard, Acton, and we go as far as Concord. And then I draw the other way, Athol, Orange, Winchton, Gardner. No place for them to go. I'm the only one around. Plus we do the whole state police contract. We do all their repairs, as you can see, all their boots. And they mail all over the country to me. And I draw from maybe a 50-mile radius. The tools that they never had back in the 1800s. Everything was done by hand. These are all, and all these machines are all automatic. All, you don't even use a hammer anymore. These are all automatic hammers. This machine here does everything from soup to nuts, from start to finish. Grinding, trimming, and polishing. But this is the biggest shop in the whole New England. But there's nothing bigger than this shop. Like I said, we've been in business 98 years. We moved off of Main Street from Day Street. We were there 79 years and 19 here. And the shop on Day Street was it was one little cubicle. But this, like I said, this is the biggest shop in the whole New England. These are automatic nailers. No more putting the heels on by hand. And this is an automatic hammer. The guys we buy our material from just lock their doors. Out of business, gone. There's business for certain guys that are big. The small shoe finder, he can't survive.
We made it first guy, yeah, he's in Germany, size 30. So we make custom fit shoes over here. We do some wholesale, mass-produced stuff, and custom fit. So 2 different size feet, high mileage runners, a little bit of both. So our wholesale stuff typically goes over to Japan, the UK, some in Paris, Italy, Australia, about 3 stores in the US and 2 in Canada. So all out of this little square. So besides New Balance, it's the only other sneaker company in the US right now. Yeah, so we cut everything out here from raw sources, raw material. Yeah, so these are all, our stock glass that we use. Custom, we can typically do 1 to 2 pairs a day. Wholesale, we try to do 10 to 20 pairs a week. So that's the beauty of our shoes. All of our sneakers can be resold. Typically a customer, of course, in Japan is not going to send it back for resale, but our high mileage runners here in the US will definitely send them in for many resoles over the life of the shoe. They typically hold up about 3 times longer than a mass-produced shoe. Yeah, so these are all the dies on what we use to make shoes. So these would be the uppers for the upper part of the shoe. So they're all right. So this is all for cutting out the leather, the mesh on the shoe. A lot of times we have to make paper dies and we hand cut things, and a lot of times we can use a stock size and kind of work it around the shoe. So we click out the material on this machine here with the dies, or we hand cut them. We reactivate all the glues and press them in a sole press. So everything gets trimmed by hand. So it's a pretty timely process. And then they get cleaned and boxed and shipped out. So the average retail cost is $250 a pair. That's for a stock size shoe. Custom shoes are typically around $400 to $500 a pair.
After viewing a modern shoe shop, we returned to the Historical Society.
One thing we certainly didn't expect was that this bench was going to be as hefty as it is, and so it was upstairs for quite a while, not really where we wanted it to be, and so that we were able to get enough help to get it. We actually had to bring it out the front door and put it into a truck and drive it around the back to where there's a door to the lower level where we wanted to have it. But part of the bench is an actual tree trunk, which is hollowed out, and that I think is a huge amount of the weight, even without the drawers in it. It's quite a chore. And one thing that we were very glad about was that many items like this, somebody will convert it into something and use it as a piece of furniture around the house or a bar, and this has been kept with the original finish, and all the drawers are there, so we're very happy with it. Well, we did already have a few shoe-related items from the Peabody family in our collection. Some actual shoes, a few tools, and they're kind of spread around a little bit here in the museum. So now we've got the bench, which is really the centerpiece.